turns us in from last week. You're all closed in here. Someone shouted that we're not letting you out just yet. And take it away.
And why the hell not?
Orders, ma'am.
Orders from who?
You'll see.
I don't like your tone.
Slams the wood slot over in the.
I go over to check out my my contact.
Oh, he's stabilized but currently unconscious. If you want to try and.
Oh, I'm going to regret this. I just know I'm going to regret this. Didn't I get a? I could have sworn I bought a healing potion. I don't have it in my inventory.
You definitely bought one.
Oh yes, there it is.
Yeah.
It's the regular potion. Okay, I have
Okay.
two. It says potion instead of healing potion for some reason. Okay, fine. I'm going to give him a healing potion.
Pop the cork.
Sure? Oh, I'm not there.
Oh, he's got this big wound over his eye.
Do you want me to roll for it?
No, if you give him the healing potion. I mean, go ahead. Yeah, we'll see how much health he gets.
Okay.
Should be 2d4 plus
2.
2. Yeah.
Wait. Okay. Okay. Let's just do it this way. That's 1. There.
Okay. And the wound starts sealing up a little bit, but the swelling is still over his eye. And he's got a bunch of bruising over his arms and stuff that starts to heal up a little bit. Oh, thank you. Thank you. He looks around at the other bodies on the floor. I
am right in his vision. There's nowhere for him to look. I'm squatting down. I'm leaning forward, and I look at him and I said, "Darling, what the fuck happened?"
It was one thing after another. Left the chaos and in the Underdark, chased by who knows how many creatures down there.
Yes.
Just to be caught trying to re-enter the city.
Why were you going back? Look, they're not letting us out.
You've got to be kidding.
And he's dead. And if we don't get a cleric soon, he's going to stay that way. Really don't want that to happen. So tell me why they're not letting us go.
I really don't know. He kind of tries to stand up.
Sit down before you fall over.
He sits back and kind of leans against the table. Thank you. Yes.
Why were you trying to get back in the city?
Where else could I go? I feared those heroes or whatever they call themselves were going to clean the whole path from the city, from Shadowgate all the way back here. I don't know why they threw me in with this sick bunch. But here we are.
Why aren't you allowed in the city in the first place?
I may have had some running-ins with some of the working class folk here in the city. Really didn't think they'd see through the disguise I had on as I entered.
Gonna have a salad or what?
But
yeah, you didn't notice the anti-magic, did you?
No.
Yeah. No, you didn't.
Not one of my finer moments, I have to say.
Yes, well, not one of your finer moments, leaving me on my own down there either.
Indeed. But I don't know when you want to discuss it, but I do have some information that regarding. He kind of pans around. you're seeking. But I suppose for another time, or can we
Yes.
please get out of
Yes.
here?
Yes. If the guards will let us, supposedly they're under orders not to let us out here for some reason.
Just can't get it, can it?
Oh, yes, it can. And I grab him by the neck and help him stand up, and I walk him over to the door, and I say, guards, did you want them all dead?
Shh. The thing opens back up. Yeah, nah, he looks like he's learned his lesson.
Then let me the hell out of here. Now.
Soon. Damn,
No,
soon.
now. Then get me a cleric. Now.
Shh. Door closes again. And you can hear them. Just judging by the guy's expression, he doesn't look too pleased that he's in this position. Most of these guards were cheering for you, moments ago. And you know that the job that you have done has spared more of them. So you see that they're not too pleased with this order. As a general, you and Axel would have probably noticed that just from seeing this guy's face. So Discord, why?
And that's how Valkyn went and got revived.
Amazing.
Oh, so speaking
Yes.
of, our name tags aren't set. Just a heads up.
Oh, okay, thank you. Let me get that squared away. While you wait and wait and wait.
Well, I'm gonna turn around to Dina
Mhm.
and kind of just looking like I'm pissed because I don't want to be here right now. So I'm just gonna maybe tell her, like next time they come in, they're mine. And like my hands just start flickering with fire.
All right. I look at Airy and go, can't you do anything?
This is...
Throw that family name of yours around?
It's highly unusual that they're doing anything like this with me in here. Thanks to the rest of you. I have a lot of...
Well, then use it.
She walks
maybe
up
you
to the door. She kind of looks at Dina. What's that?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go do what you're doing.
Very well. And she walks up. Final tag set here. And I'm so bad at multitasking. All right, here we go. She raps at the door. My name is Airy, as you should know, and I serve House Grimfury. Let us out! You can see a little bit of, anger and almost like this righteous indignation. Like, how dare you lock us in here? In her facial expressions. There's simply no answer on the other side. There may be a slight grumble of one of the guards that just further reinforces that they're not really pleased with this particular one.
Is the material of the door, is it like metal? Is it wood? Is it?
It's the core is wood, but it has a number of metal bands around it, around the outer perimeter and across to sort of brace it, with a little window there. That's hallway side.
Hmm.
You hear?
Okay,
Okay. A few minutes go by as Airy is fuming. This other tiefling that's in here that Dina, had by the throat there is a little extra fearful after seeing, knowing that you defeated all these crazies here, and that the flames flickering from Axel's hands and everyone's temperament right now. You hear a little shuffling on the other side of the door. Open it! And you hear slider thing opens up again.
I go stand next to my friend real quick, put my arm around him, and
Mhm.
slip in my dagger.
Okay, very, do a quick sleight of hand. It's a very low DC because
Okay.
person's just peeking through the.
Oh, he just only slid open that little
Mhm.
door to look in.
Yep.
Okay. Nice.
Oh yeah, very, very smoothly, and he grabs it in his other hand and holds it sort of up the sleeve.
Could I, because I can see him through that little window, right?
Yes, it's a new person.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
A new person. Okay, I would like to cast Hold Person.
Okay, go for it.
I cast Hold Person.
All right. I think there's a save. If you just want to
yes.
click the save, or let me know what it is.
It's a Wisdom saving throw.
Okay. And what's your DC?
That's a good question. Let's see.
It should be 10 plus whatever your casting modifier is, which is Wisdom for Druid.
10 plus, where's my Wisdom? 13? Does that sound right?
The modifier. So plus 1?
My Wisdom's plus 3.
It's
Oh,
8
plus 3.
plus
Okay,
proficiency,
yeah,
so 10 plus your thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought I had it somewhere.
It may be somewhere, I'm not sure. But yeah, I think at your current level. That's
oh, yes, it is a DC 13.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want me to go ahead and roll it?
That's all right. I rolled a save.
Okay.
Just because I don't have a token for him. You see him, his mouth start to kind of lock up on one side. Oh, you. You're all alike, aren't you? Kind of, glances in. You see this human, really stocky, well-built human male, probably in his early 30s. A little bit on the shorter side. Platinum blonde hair, wrapped up in the back in like a sort of a man bun. He's got a bit of an undercut, but he has like hair that goes down along the sideburn area and ties in with a fairly well-kept beard. Modest compared to the dwarves down here. And he has, these ocean blue eyes. So the eyes are sort of have that piercing quality. It's really like a large, almost like a hooked bridge to his nose. He tries to kind of look through and see who else is in there with this look of disgust on his face. I don't know what that was, but I don't care for it.
I walk over
Mm-hmm.
and who are you, darling?
My name is Basmed. So I'm saying. And Airy, if you're watching this later, you hear the voice and you know who it is.
Is it Basmed?
Basmed. Mm-hmm.
Basmed Stormthane?
Stormthane, yep. And this, so for Airy, again, in case you're watching this later, Basmed is loosely tied with the Ice Main house, which is one of the other 3 main houses. His uncle is the head of the Ice Main. However, he's half human, half dwarf. Essentially, his mom is a human, so he's sort of not part of the family. Like normally he would be by default. He's got a chip on his shoulder about that. And he's always throwing around of the Ice Main family as part of his title.
So you're a bastard
between
too.
A normal size human height and a dwarf height.
Yeah, he's like a shorter on the shorter side for a human, really bulky, and built. He's got that platinum blonde hair. I have questions for you though. I need to know what sort of deal you have worked out with the warden, and what exactly it is that you need heads for. And Airy would probably turn to all of you and say, this dude is a righteous asshole. Like,
no.
Yeah.
You don't say.
Be prepared. I think I understand what's going on. It probably won't be long until Gerdegar. So we can solve, answer, whatever you guys want to do. That's enough talking in there. Works through the thing. I need answers.
I need
No, what
out.
you need manners is what you need.
I don't appreciate your tone either, so let me out.
I will let you out once I have my answers. I have the power to hold you here.
No, you don't.
I am of the Ice Mane family, and with that comes the privilege and right to detain anyone I feel suspicious. This riot was not reported. You have killed prisoners here.
And
that very much
They were
goes
killing
against
the
them.
guards.
Well, that doesn't matter for the guards to take up. You hear the guards are like really pissed as you can see any through the slat. They're like,
I look through and I say, 5 gold to the first guard that gets the warden down here.
nice, okay. You hear some shuffling further down the hallway, but it's a little bit out of sight, but you hear some shuffling down there. I can make the next 5 or 10 minutes miserable, or
I can make them painful for you.
you can't do anything from behind that door. And that's where you'll stay unless you give me the answers that I seek.
can I try to cast poison spray on him?
Go
through the
for
bars?
it. Yeah.
Because he's making me mad. I'm guessing we're 10 feet away, so I'm going to go ahead and extend my hand toward him.
Okay.
He needs to do, let's see, poison spray. It's a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Ooh, that's just for, that would be 12, which does not hit your DC.
Yes, bitch. I need 1d12. Where's my d12?
And he died.
Oh, I didn't make the board. That was a 9. Here,
I see it. Oh no, I guess that was my roll.
You don't see it?
No, that
Okay,
that was mine.
I'll roll it again.
Yay!
Same thing. Okay.
Awesome. What's the visual? How do you want to cast this? Do you use anything in the spell, or do you just sort of have it just come out of your hand?
I want it to leak out of my nostrils, like the puff of gas is just kind of coming out, and it just kind of goes into my hand, and then
he kind of leans in as he sees it come out of your nostrils. What? You there? What are you? You seem like lean out of sight. And he's getting all sick on the other side of the door.
Can I tell if he's wearing? Can I tell if he's wearing metal armor?
Ooh.
He definitely is.
Shocking grasp.
Oh yes.
I just got so excited.
Okay, that didn't do anything.
There might not be enough room between the slats. I don't know.
Okay.
Probably for you. Yeah, I think it's sort of set for dwarven arms more so than other people. But he's probably close enough. If you want to reach out.
I come here, darling. Let me fix that. And then I just reach through, and I have to make a melee attack on him.
Okay.
So it'll be
16 is what you're looking to be.
okay. I'm just so that's 11 plus 3 plus 2, 15.
Okay, just the last moment you reach through, his eyes are.
Wait, I have advantage because he's wearing metal armor.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. Curses. You're just as his vision clears, he's wiping some of the water, the tears from his eyes, and he sees your hand like right there, going to grasp his. Very well. If this is what we must do.
I was trying to help you, darling.
Gods. And he turns and like, sir, and you hear him turn and mumble, yes, give it to me. Now. You hear a grunt, and you see him tuck a violin to the room.
A what? Oh,
what?
a viol. I think you
a
said a
viol.
violin.
I was like, oh, are we playing music?
Yeah.
You hear a clang as the strings break.
Nice. All right, Valkyn's pretty much it. So I would say Airy, Axel, and Dina. If the I'm gonna have to do one for the Tiefling guy. If the three of you could do a Constitution saving throw.
Save.
I'd like to use my oh no, did it roll?
Woo!
No, it didn't. Okay.
No.
Okay. If we could actually roll here.
Come on, fantasy grounds.
Why is it not?
Are you going actually in the?
Yeah, I'm grabbing the dice and throwing it over there.
In the chat box? Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
There we go.
Yay.
Okay.
And let me do Airy here. Forgot. I'm like, and Airy, we're come on, Airy. All right, she got an 11, and then this other guy's got to do one. Huh. Hey, sorry.
And he's dead.
Axel and Dina, yeah, you two, you feel like this, almost like the enzymes from onions, how they sort of make your eyes start to water real bad. You guys feel that, and you just get a couple tears in your eyes. That's it. Airy and the Tiefling friend both start coughing really hard, and are sort of keeled over, coughing really hard right now. Prone.
Oh.
Oh. I am. I was gonna say, Basmet is Basmet. That's it, right? Yes, Basmet.
Yes.
Yes.
Ready to talk?
Oh yes, I have such words for you because I've never known such a little prick with such a little prick. I cast vicious mockery.
Oh, nice.
He needs to make a wisdom save.
Okay. That's awesome. Yes, he got a 1. I was so hoping he was going to fail it.
All right, so he's going to take 1d4 psychic damage, which isn't much, but it'll give him a headache, and he will have disadvantage on any attack he makes before the end of a next turn. However you want to educate that.
Okay.
All right, I gave him a headache, a little headache.
Nice. Look, I simply don't have time for this. I have much worse potions. Give me that. Tell me what you need with Hez.
That's none of your damn business.
And you hear a bit of commotion down the hallway. And you hear a moderately familiar voice. Let's see. I'd say it's probably around the next round. So your contact friend and Airy start. They stand up, still coughing out the last of whatever hit them last round. And you, Airy in particular, hears a familiar voice of Gerdegar storming down this hallway. And you hear a number of armored guards clank, 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 sort of behind him. Open up that door! Open it! And the guards, yes, sir, happily slide, open up the door. And as the door swings open, you see Gerdegar has Basmet by the armor, slammed up against the wall, just as the door opens up. Listen, you sniveling brat. Don't you ever dare come down here and pretend like you can tell me and my men what to do. Never again, you understand me. Shit. And he's like, my uncle will hear of this. I have the... Shut your mouth and get out of here. And he slams him against the wall again.
As he leaves, I go, oh, look, a little yipping dog with his tail between his legs. Little prick. And I cast vicious mockery again.
Nice. Awesome. Please get another one.
Please.
That's it. The 2! Okay, that were hits. Yeah, that's successful.
All right. That's another 3.
Nice. I won't forget you, and my uncle will hear of this, he says as he's walking at a steady pace down the hall.
Yes, 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 yes. I'm sure.
My daughter.
Gerdegar.
We need a cleric.
Now.
Right? What's this?
Our
Can you
friend.
grab the body and bring him with you?
Do we have to do everything?
That's
So as I
Yes.
walk over.
Yeah, if you carry Valkyn, I grab my contact. I can't remember his name. I wrote it down somewhere and I can't find it.
Sorry, I think it's Jakar, but let me just check.
Jakar, that's right.
It's it? Okay.
I got it. It is Jakar. So I take Jakar and I, help him up. Come along. I said, and as we're walking out, I look at Durgar, go, this one's mine.
He just sort of shakes his head. He is really pissed at this other dude and everything that went down and feels it's against his name. So you see him like, hey, let's go, men. Let's get him back to safety. Got this whole armored contingent that's bringing you back.
And as we're walking, I'm pulling out the 5 gold. I say, which one was it? Who came to you?
One of them coughs. Looks over at you.
I hand him the 5 gold.
Glad to see you called it like it was.
That's the way things work.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
And you're all ushered back through the numerous gates, through Modrigan's Embrace here, the different prison stops to prevent escape, until you're back out in that large administration building where there's a number of guards around, more so than there were here before. You're escorted in, and there's a cleric. Gerdegar says, all right, put him down over here, and we'll take a look.
Set him down. I'm assuming I had help, or I could carry him myself.
Probably. He's lighter. He probably has hollow bones as an Aarakocra. So.
Oh, okay. So I had no problems.
Awesome.
Okay, set him down.
Okay, he calls
I kind of plopped him down, not just gently. I just kind of went.
Nice. The arm slides off the side. It's like a stone table. Very heavy stone top table with some beautiful stonework in it, because dwarves. These strong wooden legs to the table with reliefs in them to show more decoration. It's some sort of meeting room, conference table, basically. His Valkyn's laid out and sprawled out across that. He's sort of bound up in this real, a horrific way. Like, his arms are kind of, twisted around and tucked in. And one wing, that he had, gashed up entirely from those attacks, is bent out the wrong way and it's dried with blood. And his neck, being an owl, is twisted past the normal human range, and she kind of plopped him on the table. And the cleric comes over. Oh, by the gods! What? He runs over and checks, and for a pulse. And she, well, he's dead. I'm sure you're aware of that.
Well, can you not revive him, or resurrect him?
Perhaps we.
Oh, perhaps, yes. Yes, is what we were looking for, not perhaps.
Well, I don't, sir. He turns over to Gerdegar. This requires diamond. It's worth at least 300 gold. I'm gonna need at least another cleric. She's sort of soft-spoken compared to the rest of the dwarves in this area. In the room. I don't think we have that. I can get the other clerics, but and Gerdegar turns to the rest of you. Do you all have a diamond? Or apparently we need a diamond worth 300 gold.
I look at him and I go, do you think if I had a diamond worth 300 gold, I'd be standing here taking this job?
Suppose not.
Suppose not. Can you acquire a diamond worth 300 gold?
all for helping, but 300 gold is an awful lot.
Look, revive him successfully, we'll reimburse you. That seems fair.
Fair enough. All right. And tells the cleric, gives her some directions on getting the other clerics and where to go to acquire such a. It's an uncomfortable, probably 30 minutes of waiting for this cleric to come back. But one cleric, one of the additional clerics rushes in partway through the wait. Another one after about 20 minutes, and then at the 30-minute mark, the original cleric returns. And they try and neaten up Valkyn, sort of like one of them's like twisting the head forward and trying to put like hands one over the other over the chest and tuck the wings back in, applying a little bit of some bandages, some not quite staples, but this very rough mending of the wing in preparation for the Dwarfs.
While we were waiting, I've kind of settled Jakar down, and I'm keeping an eye on him. But I'll go over to Axel and I go, Axel.
What?
Promise you won't tell?
Ooh. I promise.
Come here. And I go, we're going to freak out the clerics. Watch this. And I take Valkyn's head and I spin it 180 degrees.
Nice. You do it like visibly, like in front of him, like.
Oh yeah.
What?
Like it's on the wrong way, and I just.
What the shit?
Leave him alone! Oh my! By the. You can't. Oh, and the other one kind of goes around.
What did you do? I'm telling this to the cleric. Like, what did you do?
I take it, and you know how owls will turn their heads almost all the way upside down when they look quizzically?
Yeah.
I take it, I do that with it.
Yeah.
Well, we can't press him now if you. Oh my! God. Oh.
I turn around and face whatever wall and just, like stifling a laugh.
Darian, you try and twist it back as best you can. One of the other clerics goes over and he kind of grabs the head and he's like, moves a little smoother than he was anticipating, but he's still like twisting it around back in. Please, we need some space here for this. Please stay back, yeah.
Oh, of course.
Thank you.
I go and like sharpen my nails on the wall. I'm assuming it's a stone wall.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Oh. That's amazing.
Shiver.
Yeah, it's like, as they're trying to cast the thing, which I think I love it because I always take into account the things that are happening, like when I'm figuring out the DC for things. So I think that's amazing. I love it.
Like we really want to revive our friend, but we're making it so difficult.
It's amazing. Evil campaign. So the three of them, finish setting up some. They're burning some incense, and they have some chalk etchings around this table and on the floor. And the three of them form a triangle within this, like a circular chalked out area. Begin chanting. And after a few minutes, the lead cleric, she stops. The other two are continuing to chant. She says, do any of you have anything to offer to this? Any emotional pull or magic that you can lend or anything that you wish to?
I'm looking.
The most comfortable feather bed and feather duvet I've ever had.
Very sweet.
All I have on me right now is healing word for a spell.
I think that would suffice. Anything is beneficial in these.
I guess.
Kind of is a little frightened by the I guess the the tongue and stuff. Very well. And I don't know. Ooh, Airy's like, I'll say something for
Oh.
God.
creepy face. And she reaches her hand into her jacket and takes out, and it has that pitch black darkness that almost makes it look light there coming off of this thing. She opens the pages. Starts. I know. That's why I'm asking you. Right. Well, he's going to help us, isn't he? Anything? I don't want to do that. That's not worth it. Fine. Okay. Closes a book, puts it back in, and then back.
I kind of look at her and I just say, I really find you interesting.
And Dina will actually, while they're doing all of this, she's going to pull out a silver Pennywhistle that hangs on a silver chain around her neck. And because she knows that, I'm pretty sure we know that Valkyn's a bard, correct?
Yes, I think so. You're right. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she'll just start playing a little tune on the silver Pennywhistle.
Aww. Neat.
She won't say that it's a very bawdy little song, but it's a pretty little tune.
It definitely gets some attention at first, like, but you know, it's a nice melody. And okay.
No words, just the song.
Oh, I have a pan flute. I forgot about that.
Ooh, you want to do anything?
That's okay.
At seeing this instrument, you can always be like, oh, right.
We could do a
Don't
duet.
have to.
We'll do a duet for him. All right, so we do a duet for him.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm offering is a duet.
I'm gonna have both of you roll a performance check then, just because it's a duet. I love that.
Oh, yeah, this is gonna go well. This is gonna go well.
No, stop, please.
Oh, not bad.
That isn't bad, yeah.
Oh, come on.
Axel jumps in and starts harmonizing. Yeah, it's a song. It's not hurting anyone's ears, but it's not the most catchy tune either. But
it's the only one that both of us know.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
somehow.
Nice. Beautiful.
And then I start doing like a little dancing, whatever. Not a dancing, I'm just like tapping my foot. That's
okay. All right, let me just sort of process out because that was some really good stuff. The DC here. Okay. All right, so Valkyn, you find yourselves in this blank, empty space. There's nothing. It's just nothing. Nothing is everywhere. You're not even in a place in the middle of somewhere. You're just in nothing. Nothing exists outside of you. As this darkness, this emptiness begins to take some shape, though. You find yourself in a landscape that unfolds. Looks a lot like a very barren landscape. There are plumes of green gas that burst forth from the earth every so often and just mist up. There's a greenish miasma, almost like a haze in the air. So you can only see about 35 feet. And you sort of become aware of the space. What do you want to do as you look around? You think you hear maybe some rushing water distance up ahead.
I guess I'll be kind of a little bit concerned and confused of my surroundings, but probably go to the water because I guess from what Valkyn would assume would be if you find a river, you could probably find some way back to the station.
Okay. You walk and you hear the water slowly get closer and closer. The walk feels a little longer than you were anticipating, but you eventually arrive, avoiding every so often you hear some rumbling beneath the ground, and you carefully avoid those spots as the plumes of this green smoke pop up and once again sort of fill the air with more fog. You approach a huge river. It has to be wider than a mile at least across. It has a moderately slow pace to the flow to it. But as you look, at the river's edge, you see it very quickly goes very steeply down.
Oh.
Seems to be a very... out across the water, you think that every so often you see something sort of break the surface. In a very, very distant area, as you're watching, you think you see, already having gone well past you, it almost looks like a small wooden boat with a lamp on the front. Maybe a few creatures. Humanoid. Is there anything you want to do at the edge of the river here? Or just...
So there's like nothing really on the river bank or anything. It's like steep.
You see some debris. It looks like of smaller boats that maybe have broken from time to time. Some stones. Just a little bit of, not grass, but some sort of plant life.
Is my wing injured in wherever I am?
I feel fine.
Okay. Then I wouldn't swim over to where the boat is, but fly if I can.
Yeah, you open up your wings and you fly up a good 10-15 feet. And how high do you want to fly as you start flying over the river?
I guess I would assume that there's fog even over the river.
There is, but you can always see your visibility is about 30-35 feet.
Okay.
You saw that because you saw what looked like a light illuminating some of the boat. It was pretty far away, but there's a little less fog here over the river. Moving water seems to be keeping it.
I guess like 15 feet up, like, and then fly over toward the boat, in the direction of the boat.
You take flight. The flight feels a little different than normal. Usually you have some of that, the wind, the air beneath your wings. Here it just feels like a, bless you. It feels more like you're just doing it without that usual resistance, that lift that you usually feel. You begin flying over. And you're flying and flying, and you're getting, the boat's probably, 2/3 of a mile out. But you follow the lantern, and you're getting closer and closer. Every so often, you look across to the other side. You're now further than halfway across the river. You're just past the center of the river. Behind you is just as far away as in front of you. You start to get a better visual on this boat. And you see a hooded figure in the front of it that seems to, in the back of it rather, that's steering the come on, I can't believe I can't think of the term for that thing. The rudder. Like, oh my gosh. There are a number of humanoid bodies that are all really just like heads down, somber. Almost down. About 8 of them in a small boat as it's going down. You hear some of the water break once again. You've heard a little splish and splash here, where every so often the waves just kind of lap over. But you hear a second. And you see as you pause your flight to look around, all around you, something, little bits of almost like ivory are surfacing in the water. Only they're not little bits. It's more like just the top of some large ivory cylinder of some sort. Here, there, further out, further back. And then this huge dome of ivory comes out of the water. And it's only when it's about here you realize it's a massive skull and skeleton. You're about the size of one of its eye sockets. As it serves as it was all bones that you were seeing. And it stands up. It has no mandible as it begins to rise up out of the water. And it actually brings up this mandible and you should not be here yet. Do you wish to stay? And it puts its hand around you but doesn't grasp you. Kind of locks you in like a cage.
I don't exactly know where I am.
Quite lost, aren't you? There is life. Here is death. The river that guides you from one to the other. I think you should stay.
Kind of not want to be not. Why do you think I should stay?
I like company. It stands up a little bit further. More water rushes out of the sockets and other parts of the bone that were previously submerged.
Hey.
There's something special about you. Yes. Yes. I think you'll be mine. He starts reaching out for you again.
Yeah, can I dodge him or something?
Yeah, go ahead and make, I guess, a dexterity saving throw.
I need to pull up my character sheet now. So just throw the dex die.
Dex save. I think it's the one.
Oh, yeah.
Just as he's going to grab you, you fly through two of the fingers before they grasp you. Oh, don't leave! And you see this creature now quickly rising up out of the water. So far, it's been like just below its shoulders, like a bust section, and it starts standing up out of the water now. It's almost about hip height at this point. What do you want to do? You want to hang around, or?
I'm guessing this would follow me even if I and like, hey, I'm gonna go and land in that boat.
You know what? No, I'm not even gonna make you do a perception check. You do hear back on the shore from whence you came the soft sound of music, almost like a Pennywhistle. What kind of flute was it?
Pan flute.
Okay.
Yeah, I did this, but I meant to do like the.
Neat. Okay.
Whatever.
No, you're fine. Yeah. Awesome. And you hear that, and it almost has this beckoning feeling to you, like it's calling to you, like, come back, safety, come back.
I guess I would probably go towards that because not this. And I guess I would dash. It's flying dash. I don't even know how much distance that would give me.
Go ahead and roll an athletics check as you're just flying your hardest.
Wait, oh, that didn't actually end up counting.
Nice, okay.
Because the other one was a really crappy roll. It was like an 8.
Oh, good. I'm glad I didn't check then. So you start flying, and you're just out of reach a couple of times as this thing's trying to wade through the water. It's standing up. It's still around its hip level here. Apparently standing on the bottom of where this river goes down puts it about that height. But still, you've got a good probably 80, 100 feet from hip to the top of its head out of the water. So it has this really huge presence behind you. Come back, won't you? And it's just grasping at you. You're, and you get. I guess that one probably wouldn't come through so much, but okay. Do one more athletics check if you would. You've covered about half the distance back to shore. And there's huge waves crashing off this thing's hip bones, pushing so much water.
Ooh.
Ooh, okay, it's a tie. And it's just keeping right on pace, right behind you as it's grasping. And it's actually going to go for you as it's nearing Oh yeah.
Can I give Valkyn my inspiration?
Yeah, if you like.
Yeah.
I think he has one. Just
Yeah, I do have.
Oh, you have one?
if
Oh,
he
okay.
does.
Then never mind.
Yeah. Okay.
Never mind. Nope.
Whew.
Yeah.
You hear this thing it starts coming up out of the water as it's nearing the shore, and you hear it. You don't hear any more water. You look back, you don't see it, and after it's just a minute, you hear this wind sound. And you look up, and this thing's leapt out of the water, and it's just...
Oh, God.
However, thanks to Airy, you have a further pull. The Axel and Dina have already beckoned you. And this... as you're looking at that, you freak out, and you turn back to fly back to shore, and right in front of you is this super dark blob of energy with these deep red eyes, and it grabs you by the throat and pulls you like warp 6 over to the side of the shore, just throws you, and you land on the side of the shore. You see this huge skeleton crash down right on the edge of the shore in front of you, and you see where you came in, a small shimmering globe of light, blue and gray light coming off of it. Almost in like siphons, again, pulling it in. You're maybe like 15 feet away from that. Skeleton's don't go. And starts reaching out for you.
I'm gonna I guess because I'd be a little bit disheveled from like being thrown onto a throne. I'm gonna just hurriedly start running towards that because. That guy's probably gonna reform sometime. So
your throat hurts. You know, it's been sort of raked and thrown, and it's almost like it burned a little bit as you were grabbed by that other thing. Okay, so here's where, as you run over to that orb of light and just like dive headlong into it, here's where you get to make your roll. I'm going to give you the choice. I can roll it. Let me think. How do I usually do it? I think I usually roll it, but if you have advantage, it doesn't make sense for me to roll it. So I'm going to have you roll just a straight D20. And we'll see what you get. DC's been decided now for this actual resurrection. Okay. And if there's any, if you're okay with that, that's absolutely fine. If you want to use any inspiration, then you just need to say so before
I think I'll use my inspiration die.
Yes!
now that you're like,
no, just fucking do it.
what die is the inspiration?
You have the D6, I think, from the.
Yeah, I got it from
The top of the episode, right? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I guess technically, what was I doing for, I think it's a D10 for, yeah, it's a D10 because it's the subscriber one.
Yeah.
That one's legit, yeah.
Yeah, just give him another D20.
Which one's the D10?
It's the third one from the left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I picked it up.
And it's not to say that, your first roll wasn't enough. It's just, I just want to set the precedent that, it has to be stated before the outcome.
So, did it not actually...
I saw it. It said 6 for me.
Yeah, I said 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I threw it in.
23.
Yeah. All right. Valkyn, everything just goes dark back to that emptiness.
Connection lost. Okay, now.
Oh, no. Everything goes back to this nothingness. But you feel yourself zipping along through time and space. And then suddenly you're pulled like almost up to the ceiling as for the rest of you in the room, Nevik just his wings fly up and he goes straight into the ceiling and hits the ceiling and falls back down onto the table, this time face down.
Is he supposed to do that?
The cleric's like, what? Nothing is normal with you people.
Oh, darling, you have no idea.
Can I just go up and just start poking Valkyn just to
you feel something?
Make sure that he's really alive.
Who's poking me?
Oh, it worked. I'm amazing at this flute thing.
You are. That was brilliant.
I mean, we should start a band. Maybe not.
All right. If you're set, then you're set. So we'll need our reimbursement, and get these people some food, yeah. And some of the other
that'll
people
be lovely.
There's a.
I look around at everybody else, including Falcon. Go, reimburse the man.
You just saved your life.
300 gold.
We can't hear you.
Hear you.
What? No, I'm grumbling.
Which is probably a good thing.
I was like,
nice.
Huh?
I don't think I actually own 300 gold.
Yeah, I think Victorian. Who's that? I think Rhea would be like.
Oh, how much do you have?
I have 226 gold pieces. And
well, I'm
all right. I'll put in 74, and then you'll be fine.
Or just take it from Basmed. Like, he has plenty. Do you want me to go? You want me to go get it for you? I have disguise self.
Airy's like, here he's not a problem. Back where he's going, he will be. Not worth it.
Has he left?
I go ahead and give him the 74 gold, and we'll get it from Basmed later.
You're no fun.
No, we can get it. Trust me, we'll get it from Basmed later if I have to take it out of his hide.
You promise?
Yes, I promise.
All right, fine.
So am I giving him 226 gold pieces?
Yep, and the 74 that I'm giving you to make the 300.
Tapping his
I'm
foot.
poor as heck.
Don't worry, we'll get you some more gold.
But you're alive, aren't you?
Yes.
I pat Valkyn on the head.
Yep.
That bastard with the horns dead.
Oh yes, we killed them.
We killed him dead. Or one of us did. I don't know who it was.
His is ready. She's down the hall in another room. Ready to go. She's got her pardon. And the rest of you can take her with you. Once you've filled up your stomachs and you're on your way to go.
Thank you.
Aren't you here?
Deal's a deal. Don't come around bothering me again, Airy. Just leave me in peace. It's like, oh, you love me. Oh, he says, I'm going back to work. Heads down the hall up the stairs.
As we leaving, making sure that we're completely out of earshot, I bend down to whisper to Airy, go, did he ever get any of that in writing from us?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh. That's... Did we have a deal? I don't remember making a deal with anyone.
Nothing ever happened.
No. Keep walking.
Nice.
Happens in prisons.
With and I've got Jakar with me.
Okay.
I'm just escorting him like he's supposed to be with.
Nice. All right. Let's see. Oh, Airy leans into Valkyn as he's getting off the table and fixing himself and getting ready to leave the room. You're welcome.
Thanks. I kind of look confused.
He pats like the side of her chest where her book is. You may or may not have seen her take.
Yeah, I've seen it before.
And just turns and follows, Dina out and Rhea and everybody. Rhea's been fairly silent in this whole process, just sort of watching like resurrection. Not something you see every day.
Yeah.
The clerics all look really wiped and worn out. You guys head down the hall to the room where Hez is being held. It's
yeah.
As you enter, it's sort of a large reading room.
Where's
oh, thank you, Randy.
Where's I was gonna say where's the Malchus?
Yeah, he's with you as well. For sure. He's been sort of somber and quiet, watching carefully what the clerics are doing in this attempt to resurrect someone. Didn't really feel he had anything to offer to the ritual or to the cost. I think he would have probably offered if he had any. So there's this large reading room with a number of tables and comfortable chairs, comfortable sofas, and little tables with some food set out and some other items. Oh, yay. Hey, it looks like someone else joined.
Pick up the devil.
Haha, must be Demalius. Nice. Right, that's
camera is kind of...
Hey, you need to turn on your fan.
Actually, it's not that hot.
Oh, okay. We're good then.
Are you using your phone or like a different camera? Because your camera's square. And it's usually rectangular.
Nope, it's the same thing as always. Weird.
Oh, yeah, it is square. You're so square.
Don't be a square man.
See what I did there? I'm so funny.
That's awesome. Oops. Oh my gosh, there's so many options. Oh wait, I think this is it. It might just pop in a bit, Randy. Sometimes it just wants to broadcast not in high def, and then after a minute, once the bandwidth opens up, it's like, I'm high def now. I don't want a high def. Okay. Anyway, so you head into the room and you see Hez, shackle-free, food on the tables here for y'all. Plenty of places to sit and relax. And she looks up and smiles and, you all real again?
Yeah.
But if you're not real, you'd probably say that too. Can I pinch you?
No, but I can pinch you.
Oh, that's a lovely.
I turn my face upside down.
Yes, well, suppose that you're all fine then. Yes, it's good to see you all. And she kind of turns her head with it, like a little bit as far as she can. Yeah, you are so interesting. Well, I'm glad you've all returned. And I have my pardon here. And she has a scroll on the table that she sort of unwinds a little bit. You must see. You must look at this. Oh, it's wonderful. Oh, freedom. I will join the rune keepers. Another rune
Who's
keepers.
Gabriel
yeah.
the foe,
Rune
and why
makers.
is he being pardoned?
I look at
Hmm.
yes, you're going to join the rune keepers right after you do what Airy has asked.
Yes, yes, of course, of course, of course. A promise is a promise is a promise. Oh. Oh, oops.
Oh, I would like to cast Healing Word on Dina.
Okay.
And
Dina's still at 5 HP.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah, so I was gonna give her a little bit of healing. Do I roll or does Dina
You
roll?
roll. Yeah, you can roll.
I roll. Okay. Its
Duty-
hit points equal to 1d4 plus your spell casting. One of these days.
1d4 plus 3.
Let me make sure it's adding
Oh, it's the
your,
wisdom,
your
okay.
thing. Which one is this?
Yeah.
The healing word or
Yes.
healing word?
Yeah.
Yes. Healing
Okay,
Word.
yeah, it's got it included. If you hit the little magnifying glass and click, if you target her character, like in the combat tracker,
Okay.
so you can either like double click on
Okay.
your token and it'll bring up the whole map where she's probably still on it, or you can
Control click.
probably. Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, I just
When-
said targets Dina.
Okay,
Come
perfect.
when you come back from being resurrected.
There you go.
Do you have?
You have exhaustion. Oh yeah.
Okay, so
You've got
like,
a-
basically you can't do anything.
You are entirely wait. Let me see if my cheat sheet DM screen has exhaustion rules on it because it's pretty hardcore the first day. It's like 3 points of exhaustion. You're wiped. You're being helped by a number of these guards down to this room because you can barely walk. Just imagine you have disadvantage on everything. I think you have half your speed. I'll look it up in a minute. It's not in here.
I roll for seduction. Disadvantage.
Yeah.
No.
You can't seduce yourself any longer. You don't have the energy.
Can we call this a short rest and use our hit dice?
Yeah, you'll be here for at least a half an hour, I imagine. Certainly.
Okay,
Okay, short
I'm going to
rest.
do that.
Okay.
Now, so I have a question because I'm not used to druids. Do they regain? They still don't regain any spells until after a long rest, correct?
They
Circle of the
don't.
moon, yes.
But your circle, yeah, you can use you can take I think one of your wild shapes, and in the circle you have, and you can expend it in order to get a spell slot back. Let me take a quick peek here.
Circle of the land can do that on a short rest. Circle of the moon cannot.
Okay.
Which one are you again? Are you
The moon.
moon?
I mean, that's why it was moon.
Moon.
I thought it was just because you were a wolf.
Well, that's it.
But it's all the more
Because I was a double.
Dire wolf.
Intelligence 1.
Dire derp derp.
Derp. Yeah, circle of moon. Okay, let me.
Okay. I'll take a look into some of that in a minute. Oh yeah, I see. You can use your bonus action to expend one spell slot and regain 1d8 hit points. That's what it was for Circle of the Moon.
Oh, okay. So,
But you have to be transformed in wild shape while you're doing that.
Yeah, it's a way of healing yourself in combat if you're wild shaped.
Oh, so I expend like a first level slot to gain HP while in my beast form. Okay.
Nice.
But still, after a short rest, I have 2 shapes back.
Yeah.
Or my 1 shape back.
You
Okay.
get 2.
You get both. You get your shapes back at a short rest.
So I have 2. So 2. Yeah, they got
It
2 shapes. Okay.
replenishes entirely. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Cool.
right, Valkyn, you're sort of plopped down by the dwarves, who are not really a delicate, group of people here. They're just sort of boom, plop you down on the couch, and you're just glad to be on a couch and not being chased or not having your throat nearly pulled out.
Yeah. So I remember the afterlife
you remember
stuff.
it.
I wasn't
It's
sure if it was one
foggy,
of those things.
but some of that is pretty clear in your mind.
I'm
still.
gonna end up having nightmares now about skeleton guys, aren't I?
Yeah, nice. And the darkness that grabbed your throat there. As says, well, let's get started then. Yes, let's get this done, and then I can get out of here. I can get into the Rune Maker. You have things to do. I have things to do. And speaking of short rest, let's go ahead and take our bio break since it's about that time.
Yes, thank you.
No problem.
Alrighty.
All right, catch you back here 8 to 10 minutes. I'm gonna get some fresh coffee and maybe a snack.
There's no coffee.
Gotta get some coffee milk.
Coffee.
Yes, coffee. All right, catch you in the flippity.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh my legs.
Well, that's weird. Discord, if you leave your camera on, if everybody else, one
Don't
person
stop
turns their camera off, it focuses on the one person.
Stop thinking of trying to fix my camera. Stop beating my. I still assume that. That's funny. Rest. I was just catching up on chat. Poor Randy. Oh, can you hear me, Randy, still, or you just have chat up somewhere? Yay! Okay, so the
died. No.
Basically everyone was sort of hung up there and waiting to be let out, and there was like Axel threw a poison spray out of the window. The guards seemed to not be happy with the order to keep everyone in here. It was apparently an order given by Basmed Stormthane. His uncle leads the Icemane family, which is one of the main 3 families here in Stonehearth. And he's a pompous, self-righteous doofus, and he wanted to know what was going on here, what you all needed from Hez, and what sort of deal you made with Gerdagar. Party gave up 0 information. Held their ground until Gerdagar caught wind, thanks to Dina saying, "Someone go tell Gerdagar, first one to do it gets 5 gold." She yelled down the hallway. Gerdagar came down, threw this guy up against the wall, and basically threw him out of his prison. And then let all of you out. Some clerics went to heal Valkyn. You all reimbursed, or Valkyn mostly, and a little from gold from Dina, in order to reimburse.
Rip my 226 gold.
Yes, for the diamond required to try and bring back Valkyn. Valkyn in the afterlife, he was surrounded by nothingness, and then he was found himself in this really bleak landscape. Parts of the earth would burst forth, would crumble and break apart as this greenish gas would escape from the ground. It filled the whole area with this sort of miasma or greenish fog, limiting his vision to about 30-35 feet. He heard some running water. He followed it, came to a gigantic river, wider across than a mile. Visibility was a little better over the moving water. Slow pace flow of the river. Valkyn saw what appeared to be maybe a boat with a lantern on the front, sort of cutting through the fog. He went to go fly out, it was about 2/3 of a mile out, and as he got over there, he saw a bunch of these ebony-type cylinders rising, breaking the water. Turned out to be an entire skeleton. Valkyn was about the size of one of his eye sockets, and it started to have a conversation, and at one point grew tired of the conversation and was like, I could use the company, why don't you stay? He's basically describing this as like the river Styx, almost.
Yes. What I got the
and then he's like, there's something really interesting about you. Yes, I definitely want you to stay. Started chasing Valkyn down as he flew. They did some athletics checks, and Valkyn stayed just ahead of this giant thing. It was standing now up to its hips in the water, and just pushing all this water away. It leapt out of the water and heard the wind whistling up above, and saw the skeleton leaping up in the air and down at Valkyn in a last-ditch effort to get him. As Valkyn turned back ahead to like make a mad dash, there was this black blob of darkness in front of him with these dark blood red eyes. It grabbed him by the throat and pulled him like warp 6 from where he was flying over to the edge of the water, sort of to safety, and then threw him onto the ground near about 15 feet away from a small glowing orb that was essentially where he entered here. He was, I missed that he was actually lured back by some of the music that Axel and Dina were playing on their hand flute and Pennywhistle, respectively.
Yeah.
And Airy had also talked to herself like, oh, I can help too, and talk to the person in her head.
Would I have known the tune that they were playing?
Probably not. I think it's more of the feelings that they put into it, like the fact that they offered that up, that spoke to you. And then he came back, and that's pretty much where we are now.
Yeah, I probably don't think Falcon will probably know anything about like the underworld or anything.
He got boned by the giant skeleton. That's great. Oh, delicious.
Well, Despacito is actually a very dirty song if you look up the lyrics.
Nice. Is that like Macarena, where she's like, oh, I've got this friend, but he's out of town, or my boyfriend's out of town, so I'm sleeping with the other two guys that are his best friends that came over?
No, it's just more about like a sexy girl.
But
it just sounds nice because hey, it's in Spanish and it's catchy.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel sad. Alexa, play this.
Nice. Give it a beat. Yeah, me too. He rolled like a 17, which was enough. The DC was lowered a fair bit thanks to those. It can be up to 3 people chipping in, and the music definitely helped lower it. But he made sure he had rolled his inspiration die, ended up with a 23, so he was guaranteed to come back. Yeah, he still had a roll. Yeah, exactly. I sort of use like the critical role system, Randy, where instead of just people always being able to be resurrected again and again, where it sort of pulls out that fear of death for like higher level groups, there's a roll, and every time you die, you automatically get +1 the next time you do it. The DC, rather, to res the next time gets an additional 1 added to it every single time.
Oh. So at some point you'll have like a really high DC that you can only be lowered by people doing.
Right. People chipping in can help lower. Eventually, I mean, the idea being there will be a limit, and it makes it more difficult each time.
Yeah.
Matt Mercer put it out somewhere, and I loved it so much. Like, it's perfect, so I like using that.
It's like you got like 10 resurrections, and then no. Stop dying.
Well, I'm glad Valkyn's back, and
don't name your character Kenny.
No.
Or Felix. Don't name your character Felix.
Yeah, poor Felix.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. There was a character in the first game. Yeah.
All right, that's it. We've got Moon, and now Valkyn is Kenny.
Perfect.
Oh wait,
yay.
no, it's gonna be a toss up between Valkyn and the Rogue. Whichever one dies next.
That gets to be Kenny, yes.
Gets to be Kenny.
I love it. Okay, I've got to change this spelling because I did not.
And everybody's gonna be like, "Who the heck is Kenny? I don't know."
Oh wait, which spelling?
Baz. Well.
Oh, it's
Bazmed Storm thing.
Bazmed.
Bazme.
Yes.
I had that right.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Bazmed Stormthane.
Oh, with an E instead of a G. I heard Thang. Like.
Oh, Stormthang.
That's what I guess.
Nice.
And I was like, ooh, I kind of like this guy now.
I will definitely have to do that in the future.
To me, he just sounded like a very whiny version of Mallow. Like a really wimpy version of Mallow.
Could be.
Who?
Oh, that's from the
he's
other
from-
campaign. The
Oh.
He's a very
Shake your
full of himself elf. Like, oh, I am rich. Oh.
Shake your storm thing. Shake your storm thing.
Ooh, hey. Nice.
Thank you, Randy.
Amazing.
Mouth of the marsh.
Mm.
Marshmallow.
Watch all for you. One of these days, I'll get caught up.
Oh, on what?
On Stormfall and
Oh,
Critical
yeah.
Role. Because
Yeah, I need to watch a few of the episodes of Stormfall because some of them I'm like, I was only paying attention half the time and I missed like the first 5 episodes. So like,
but see, you just got to put on a podcast, and then I can just drive and listen because that's what I used to do in Critical Role.
Good idea.
But when they're doing live Critical Role stuff, it's hard to. I can't do it, so I have to actually watch them. And so yeah, now I'm back to watching them on whatever. I'm so far behind.
Oh yeah. There's so much content.
Yeah, they had like the first campaign. I'm like,
all right.
The second campaign's starting, and it's not really gonna call back much. First one, I'm just gonna watch.
I need to catch up on the first.
The first,
and then go to the
first
second
one. Like there's like some character. It apparently seems like there's some characters from the first involved.
You're breaking up.
Oh, it seems like there's characters, like a character or two from the first one that was an NPC involved in the second one. That was fun. But aside from that, it's like in the same world.
That's well. It's just
but I don't have. I don't know where I'm gonna find 400 hours to watch all the episodes.
Nice. Randy, I don't know if you if you ever have to change the ports that the camera is plugged into. I know that like sometimes with a USB 3.0 it operates a little differently than the 2.
Yeah, I'm tired of you being a square.
Possessed by demons.
Nice. It's the gremlins.
I'll disable and re-enable it. Hang on.
Okay.
Through Windows.
Now, Valkyn, you actually have 5 levels of exhaustion because you just came back from death.
Holy
5.
shit.
Yeah, 6 is death, so you're at 5. You have disadvantage on ability checks. Your speed is halved. You have disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws. Your hit point maximum is halved, and your speed is reduced to 0 this first day. That's the first one that you get rid of when you get a good night's rest. So you need people to help you around today. You'll be somebody's...
We have to drag the bird around.
Yeah, you'll be somebody's backpack.
I'm
basically.
light.
I already had to carry him when he was dead, so not it.
Ah, nice.
Can I sit on somebody's shoulders? Onward!
Nice.
I think you're actually taller than I am, so no.
What? How tall are you?
5'2"?
I think Eric Okra only grow up to about 5. Isn't it about like 5 feet?
5 feet.
Should be in your
yeah,
character sheet. Yeah.
You're
I'm
not
curious.
much taller than I am then.
Yeah.
Let's see. Notes. You are. Oh, it's not in here. That's weird. I thought we
I don't
put
think
all
I
that
ever
in.
picked. I
Shame.
think I
all right. Where were we here? Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're about 5 feet tall, 80 to 100 pounds.
Juicy. Oh, can't.
And then you just add whatever my equipment is.
Oh.
So I'm at max 155 pounds.
Yeah, I sort of go along with that. If it's way ridiculously cumbersome in size or weight, I'm gonna be like, no, probably not. Can't carry that boulder around.
To carry you.
Ah, nice. She would love that. Please do.
All right, Hez is carrying Falcon.
Amazing.
I'm guessing Dwarven women are very
Mhm.
strong.
Yep.
Yeah, they are.
As was it.
All right. So Hez is carrying Valkyn. So whatever Airy's got to have Hez do with the item.
Huh?
What was it that Airy needed Hez to do? The pearl, right?
Well, it was more.
Or Demalgus was.
Yeah, he knew that she has the ability to shield you somehow.
That's right.
Oh
Like-
yeah, from Vardock.
Yeah, from scrying. Like you don't know the
Yeah.
specifics yet.
So
Which would
let's
be fun.
get that done.
Okay. Right, I guess it's just you guys, right? And you're all here. Hey, there it is, Randy. Yeah, huzzah!
You
Yay.
fixed it!
Now get that fan running so you don't die.
I know.
I'm dying just watching you not have that fan on.
Hey, he said it wasn't that hot today, so I
Oh,
don't feel
wasn't?
as bad. No,
Okay,
but he still needs to turn it on.
good.
Like I have this one right here.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah, Randy,
nice.
your mic's muted. But I have a tower fan. I have a ceiling fan. Like,
Beautiful.
We got a window unit air conditioner for our downstairs.
yeah, he's turning on the
Yes,
fan.
yay! Yeah, take it around town. Awesome.
Bring it around town.
we
Bring
just,
it
we just don't want our friends to
around
die
town.
from.
And then you
Yeah.
step on your left foot. Don't forget
Don't
it.
forget it. That's awesome. I feel like SpongeBob is hyper polarizing. Like people love SpongeBob or they hate SpongeBob. I don't find anyone that's like
some of it. Other times you just like.
It makes me lose brain cells.
It was originally a show meant to be a show for adults, apparently, but
Ugh.
it just didn't end up catching on, so they just decided to make it anyway. They probably changed some of what they were going to do for humor, but there are still some adult jokes in there.
Plenty, yeah. It's leveled, layered. But yeah, it's very dumb as well.
My
But funny
sound
and dumb.
beyond.
Like I wouldn't want to be watching it in front of people that I knew.
There we go.
But maybe in a secret basement, I'd be like, all right, let me tweet that out. Is that we are back? Axel knows what's best. Word. Nice blade.
I try.
Blade. Sweet. Alrighty then. Alright, so we're back in this room. What have we got? Hez, a secret basin.
Oh boy.
Nice. It's just a mattress on the floor and a bucket. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
that's
the
yeah,
lotion
that's
on
Pushing it in the bucket.
Randy. He's a storm thing. Is his last thing if that's what you're needing. No, well, your mic's off anyway, so. Oh,
I know it is. No, I'm looking for the. I know his name is Stormthane, but he said it's a member of the Ice something.
Ice Maid.
Oh, Ice Main family. It's one of the 3 main houses.
Wait,
That's what I
Iceman
want.
or Stormthane?
Storm
his
thing
name
is his
is
last name.
Yeah.
Stormthane, last name, but he's a member of the Icemane family.
Mhm. Basically, his uncle is what the heck is his name? Like Daramir or something like that. I'll look it up. His uncle is let me
A
just
cat
click on
tail.
this. Doramir Icemane, who runs the Icemane family with his wife.
I don't
And
even know how you.
that's his uncle. Except Basmed is half human, half dwarf. That's why he looks like a short human, but really built and muscular. He's got all the platinum hair and eyebrows and the blue eyes and stuff.
So imagine the player units from Warcraft 3.
Yeah, pretty much. He's got sort of a large, kind of a hooked bridge to his nose.
Really muscular, but
Right, yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah. but snooty AF. All right, let's get down to Hales. All right, so now that Valkyn is like a lump on the couch,
Yes.
Hez looks over. Rhea sits down. I feel like Rhea is probably just calculating like the situation, and
Do they have
is probably
chocolate cake here?
she's probably eager to get this done, thinking this is what you've all been working. Airy's probably like keeping her arm just sort of tucked on that pearl, like she just wants to keep it to herself and away from others, and subconsciously keeps resting her forearm on that side of her jacket. So Hez turns and says, well, yes, you don't want to be spied on, and who can blame you? No one wants to be on. There's a lot that should remain unseen. So, it's so nice to be. I wish I was out of this building, but yes, if we need to get started, we'll need to get back to my own homestead. Yes, where I can get to the materials required. Some assistance to help me if there are any left. Yeah. Well, I'd like to eat first. Don't serve us this down below. Are you fine with this?
Sure, eat.
Sure.
Why not? I mean, it's not like we can't get something to go. We'll stop at McDonald's on the way.
Nice.
What's McDonald's?
It's this really great place. It's called the Golden Arches, but you only find it in the abyss.
Nice.
Sounds disgusting.
I thought it was that farm.
Totally gonna put that in the world somewhere, like this obscure farm with golden arches.
Can you make one with like an orange like little W? Water.
Nice.
Everything is flame broiled.
And it's gonna be made of the villagers or something like.
I'm so
What
waiting
about
to
Soylent
see
Burgers?
the den of cupcakes come up. So.
Cupcakes.
Well, yes, I'll need my energy.
Yes, well, then eat.
Well, thank you.
Can I just like grab like food and stick it in her mouth?
Yeah. Oh, she puts her hands down at her sides. Thank you.
Oh no, I drop it.
Oh.
You just took that.
She starts mechanically chewing bread. Wait, are you a wolf?
So she fills up on some food. It gives you all enough time to have your short rest. She's like, well, yes, I'm just going to take some of this for my home. And yes, she starts like loading up. She has a little cloth satchel that she just starts loading with food. There's nothing else in there. Yes, let's go, shall we? And she just turns and starts walking out of the room.
I guess we follow. Or I follow.
Okay.
I'll bring up the rear with my friend.
Ah, okay, neat. Friend's feeling a little bit better with some food in his belly, and
yeah, I kind of want to drop back behind the group just a little bit.
Okay.
So he and I can have a little talk.
Oh, okay, go for it. Yep, you fall back an extra 25 feet or so. You're all going in the same area.
Right. Well, I know that we're still under potentially scrying, so I don't want to. We're not going to talk too much, but I am just going to say you've got the information for me.
I do. I have a lead. Less information, more a lead. But yes. Despite.
All right. Is the lead here, or is it down there?
The lead is actually up above.
Okay.
He's trying to be.
We would then we will talk about this later. Then we'll get.
Good.
Good. Yes. one more thing. Is there anybody else who would be able to get this information for me?
I suppose so. Anyone that has the power and influence, well, they'd likely hire me despite this major setback here. Usually much better than this. And he's, in his late 50s or so. So not super old, but he's seen a lot of he's, world weary. He's definitely been around a lot. And he is really good at his job, despite this recent, unforeseen crap that hit the fan here, so to speak. Anyone in power can probably hire someone, but they would likely hire someone like me.
And any guesses on who that might be? Who someone like you would be? Just curious.
Can't say I can think of any other in my caliber.
All right. I was just wondering.
He goes on.
We'll talk more.
Understood. Yes. All right, and you guys follow out of Modrigan's embrace, the prison of Stonehearth, and let's see. She doesn't have a noble family home, so she's probably going to be. And you head east. If you have, I'll just bring up the Stonehearth map here. Yes. Okay. Set up drawing. And so you were just here in Modrigan's embrace. And now you're just heading just east of that. My exit draw.
Really hope I don't have to start hiding this episode.
Oh, right, because I'm drawing on the wrong one.
Jeez.
Okay, I'm like, what's going on? This is so weird. It's not showing up. All right. Anyway, you're here in Modrigan's embrace, which should show up now for chat as well. And you're leaving that and heading just east. Okay. Right here into a small, fancier residential area. Not as nice as some of the others.
How long has Hez been in jail?
Gosh, I forget. I think it was a year or two.
Okay.
Something like that.
Because it was like, how would she... Like, she was in there for 10 years. How does she have a residence?
Nice. She had a pretty, from what you heard from Airy, she had a decent size, good standing here, and was looking to make it into the Rune Maker family. So she probably has still a house with some servants. They're probably still taken care of and being paid. But she lost everyone in the expedition, including her. They found just her alive, covered in ball, as Airy told the story. Yes. Sole survivor out of like 20-some people. Team. All right, so you arrive at a pretty, palatial homestead here, carved right into the side. It's flush with the wall, and the house is just laid inside that. So the only windows are on the very face of it here. But it's comfortable, but definitely dusty. While there were probably people in here keeping things in shape for a while, it seems like in the past maybe 2 or 3 months, there's been no one here. A layer of dust and dirt covers almost everything in her abode.
That's the thing about servants, you have to pay them.
Yes, I'll have to see about getting them back and making sure that they fictional things. Well, I should get at least some of my materials ready. Meet me downstairs if you would. Down. try that again.
Hello, welcome
Yay! Thanks.
So Mal's died, and we're
Oh
we're
no.
all scryed again. We're all
Perfect.
protected from scrying, except for Mal. Or the Malgus. Wrong.
Oh,
Please head downstairs. There's a room that you can't miss. Right at the bottom of the stairs to the right, and I'll meet you there in a few moments with materials. Yes.
Oh.
And we'll see you soon. He walks off to another room. Bless you.
Can I
Thanks.
insight check her to make sure that we will see her soon?
Sure, go for it.
good. Yes.
All right.
She was a figment of our imagination.
Mm.
What is it? It does not like me. There it goes. Oh, yeah. No, I have no idea. She seems truthful.
Bummer. Yeah. All right. So if you all end up heading downstairs, then let me just pull up. Oops. Okay. A few minutes, 8-10 minutes goes by, and before she heads back down.
Okay, good. We're not in her
Murder basement? No.
No, I mean we're not trapped as her prisoners in her basement.
No. She has a large metal tub that she has a bunch of different materials in for this spell. She brings it down and sets it down on the floor. Well, let's get started. So you're seeking protection from scrying, which I can offer, and I am indeed able to amplify the effects of the non-protections. Now, there are always, of course, limitations. The standard limitation is that it only lasts for 8 hours before needing to be reapplied, and it only affects one person. Now, I can, through my ingenuity, I have created a spell that attaches to an item and gives a certain range instead. And it can last almost permanently. It can still be affected by Dispel based magic, where be careful of anyone casting that. Keep this wherever you keep this item out of sight. And I think that's about it.
And what is the range of this?
120 feet. It's a marvel, I know. Instead of being stuck on one person. But it will work. It will protect you from any divination magic, as well as being perceived through magical scrying sensors. It really covers the whole gamut. Now, mind you, you'll need to stay within 120 feet of item, and she just kind of looks around at all of you for a minute, like, I don't know who wants what, and whatever you do with it is up to you, certainly. But yes, this can keep you safe, although it does mean you'll be sort of stuck.
Does it
Can I do it? Go ahead.
Oh, does it affect everyone that's in the 120 feet?
No, I will bind it to each of you as part of this spell.
Okay.
Can I do an Arcana check to make sure that she's actually?
Ooh, yeah. Go for it. Pretty quick.
So it's a 12.
You're familiar with the non-detection spell, and it does work like that. I mean, it works typically for the 8 hours on one person. You're really hard pressed to believe that this is going to last permanently, though. It's just, given the regular nature of the spell, it would be really, like, you can see the range thing, that's a feat in itself,
Yeah.
but you know, it does feel a little beyond belief that it would be permanent.
Alright. It's not like we have much choice, but
Well, here,
hope you're worth it.
Yes. Thank you again for setting me free and back in my house. She reaches over and just pinches some of the stone, like, okay. And goes and lays out the runic symbols on the floor, which she goes relatively quickly through, taking maybe 15-20 minutes to kind of scribe out the whole floor here, setting the different materials down and inside different circles and triangles in this runic, large runic symbol, and all that. And then she turns, okay, this circle's for you. Looking at Axel, trying to do like a pretend like with her tongue. You, and you're over here. Looks at Valkyn, and you know, kind of goes around pointing at each person, sort of imitating some facet to them. Yes, okay. With everyone in place, so I'll need an item. Now I have a few mundane items that you can choose, or if you have anything that you would like instead for me to enchant Bell, what would you like?
I look at Airy.
Airy looks back at you.
Oh, really? I thought the whole purpose was to get that thing enchanted.
Yeah. Well, I think if we want to be careful with this protection thing, we should something mundane enchanted. No one's like, ooh, look at that fancy thing.
So maybe something on you?
Hey, she kind of looks down at her stuff. What do you mean?
Can you put it on the... This is out of character. Can you actually put it on the pearl? Or would that actually remove all the magical powers of...
Well, that's just it. She doesn't want it on the pearl. They want it on. She wants to put it on something mundane. But if she's going to be the one that's carrying it, then Dina's suggestion is that whatever the spell's being cast on be on her.
Well, I suppose. And I don't.
Oh, you know what? No, never mind. I pull off the. I've still got that bloodstone ring.
Yeah.
Put it on this.
Oh, I was going to say, does anybody have a really ugly brooch or piece of jewelry?
This is not
sure.
an ugly piece of jewelry.
No, but get one so that and just stick it on you.
She takes
put it on the ring.
Yes. One. Yes. Okay. She sets it down the very center of this entire elaborate runic markings on the floor. Okay, well, let's begin. And she starts just sort of drawing magic from one point to another with her eyes closed as she stands in a smaller circle right next to the center one with a ring in it. And she starts, enchanting, and you hear in your minds the message bell that just says, lips aren't moving. Stand still, perfectly still. You move. Survive.
I'm assuming Jakar is a part of this.
I guess that would be a conversation with him if you wanted him to be part of this.
Yep, I do.
Okay.
I have my reasons.
All right. So you talk to him and he's. Let me see how.
I said, It's an anti-scrying spell.
I've had so much with magic, but
Yes.
yeah,
But
I don't want anything following me from that city. Yeah, okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Then he kind of,
That's
you know,
what I
agreed.
thought.
And he hears that message, and he's extra like trying to stand really still and not move his mouth or anything, or blink. He's extra nervous. So this part takes a sort of an uncomfortable amount of time. It's like 25, 30 minutes are going by. And it's really uncomfortable to stand there. And she's like, almost sending a message spell again, almost complete. And now she's just holding her hands out, chanting over this ring. She kind of squats down right in front of it. Her hands out like this for it. And for those of you watching, there's been a lot of like free-floating arcane energy wisps that just become tangible for a minute, you get visible, and then disappear. And you can see it all sort of being drawn in now to the very center of this circle in the middle with a ring. She seems to finish here loud. You see a bunch of energy build and build into it. Snap! And it makes this huge popping snap sound that kind of pops your ears like you've gone from one elevation to another too fast. Oh, they're sort of, plugged up. All set. You go. He holds the ring back out toward Dina.
I take it and I put it back on the finger.
Neat.
Disenchant now.
Oh, please, let me know how this goes. It's my first time casting the spell. So I'm very curious as to the results. So please, if you come back, check in with me, if you will.
You've never done this before?
No. I've had it in my head for quite a while, but I've been otherwise occupied since.
Okay. We just busted you out for something that may not even work.
Oh, I'm sure it'll work. I think it's more the degree to which it'll work or the duration. But I feel confident that it'll work well for a good while at the very least.
Let me put it this way. If it doesn't, the person who comes for us, we're pointing at you.
Sounds good. so
Fair?
please, yes. and
Yes.
If you're here again, let me know. If it needs any recharge, then I'll be glad to do so.
Oh, I'm sure you will. Free of charge.
Oh, yes.
Yes, of course.
Well, would you all like to stay and be my friends here for a little while?
I didn't sign up for a friendship.
Yes, by all means, leave.
I have some things I need to do.
Understood. Well, my door's open for you.
We kind of signed a magical contract that we have to.
No, we didn't.
Binding those are. Yes, better see to it. If you did, or maybe you didn't, it's tough to tell what's real and what isn't, isn't it?
Isn't it, though?
Yes. Well, very well. Yes, my door's open for real, not imaginary friends at any time. So I hope to see you again.
Oh, imaginary friends are the best ones. As I leave.
Nice. She starts picking stuff up, but you guys all head out of her abode. She's sort of filling up the bucket, walking up behind you guys as you head out the front doors at the end. Bye. She just kind of says, and she's following you. All right, you guys are back in the city of Stonehearth. Rhea's, gosh, I wish I had a little more clue on what Rhea. He's like, well, we all have business to do, and that contract, I want to get that done. I have my own things I need to pursue, and I don't know what we're gonna do. But I'd like to keep seeking answers and get the money to help find those answers.
Yeah, I need to go sell. I've got some daggers I want to sell, and I have so I can get a particular dagger made, or hopefully find a particular dagger. But but I need a dagger that's got a diamond set into the hilt or the pommel, and the diamond needs to be worth at least 50 gold pieces.
Oh, I see. Oh, I like that. I think you'll find that here. Fine craftsmanship, probably.
Yep.
Up Airy's like, yeah. Go back to the place we were, the Modrigan's
Yep.
Valley.
Yep.
I need to send a letter.
Nice. I mean, you can find a number of. I mean, they don't really have a postal system per se, but they do have
I
couriers.
have no idea how. Well, Valkyn would not know how postal systems work.
Yeah.
But you're an owl. You just never mind. I'm
Tie
sorry.
it to your ankle.
Yes.
That's amazing. Nice.
Harry Potter.
All right, so you carry on. Airy just offers up. Yeah, we've got to leave soon and do this, but let's all get a good night's rest. Do your things, shop, whatever. We'll meet back at the Grim Fury household. We'll get a good night's rest and go.
All right, sounds good.
She kind of clutches that pearl again. I have something sort out. Kind of looks at Valkyn like, and turns away and walks off to do her thing. Do any of you have any individual things you want to do here in the city before returning to the Grim Fury household?
I want to stalk Airy.
Nice.
Get anything for 26 copper?
Nope. Donut.
I'm taking Jakar, and we're going shopping, and he and I are talking.
Okay. All right. Demalagus?
Malagus is going to double back and go visit Hez.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
Malgus and Hez.
Awesome. I feel like Rhea was just going to go off in her own direction. That'll leave it open for whatever she wants to do. All right, where to start then? Let's start with, I guess, what were you doing, Axel?
Oh, I was going to try to follow Airy stealthily.
Okay. All right, we'll start with Axel, I think, for the first one. So you follow Airy, and she seems to march through, making some stops, talking to some vendors. She doesn't buy anything. This is up in Modrigan's Belly. Some of the seedier parts of Modrigan's Belly. And she you're watching from a distance, keeping an eye. Make I guess just a stealth check to see like how well you follow and watch. And I'll let you do it with advantage just because she's I guess you don't need it. Nice. She's fairly distracted.
Okay.
So you're following stealthily from a safe distance. And yeah, she has these odd conversations with some of the vendors, and and all that. She continues on until a little bit later in the day. As the day goes on, it gets. There's no sunlight down here anyway, but you can tell just by businesses running and how busy areas are. She goes through some of the nice-ish sections of the city, residentially, and she knocks on a door here, a door there. Seems to have small little pouches that she hands over to the tenants or the owners, and continues on. Leaves that area, and then towards the late evening, she goes to also a seedier residential area, and goes into a tavern. And you sort of the windows are open in this tavern, and you find a safe space to sort of sit outside and kind of watch around into the window every so often and listen. And you see her sit down. There's a group full of dwarves that are sitting there playing poker or some other card game, betting lots of money, drinking a bunch of ale. And she sits down, and they welcome her at first as though she's one of their own. And they play cards. She drinks. And at one point, there's someone gets up from a neighboring table, and you see her get up. And this person heads out the back to use one of the outhouses. He heads out the back. So, you want to like walk around to see what she's up to?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I would like to follow from a
Right.
safe distance.
It's a little bit of a walk around because there's no direct alleyway there, but you did see one like a block, like half a block up. So you walk around, and as you're rounding the corner towards the end of the street, you hear like a blood-curdling scream from the alleyway, and you quickly look around, and you see, oh, you know what? Make a perception check if you would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perception. Oh, okay.
Ooh, nice.
That almost went the wrong way.
Sorry. You see
Everything.
I saw so much.
you see that this stream, there's a dwarf down on the ground with like his hands up defensively, and you see Airy standing over him with her hands stretched out, and it was her who had the scream. And you see in like this bright red energy sort of traces, almost like embers coming off of it, like there's a scorching of her skin. And you see like lettering forming on the side of her arm. She's screaming from the pain and trying to like, almost like she's fighting herself and trying to hold her hand back. But as this etches across her arm, she at one point gives in from the pain and casts a spell. Oh, sorry.
Now, I'm sorry. Did you say Airy's the one that was screaming with the lettering, or it's the dwarf?
Airy.
Oh, Airy.
is.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
And right. Sorry. All right, where is it? And you see the dwarf cover his eyes and no, Airy, tell the Grim Furies I won't do it again. And he starts like panting, and his voice is trembling as this darkness just completely covers his eyes. You see, there's some torchlight there, so you see him open his eyes, and they're just all black. Like, not black, it's more like cataracts, heavy cataracts, foggy over his eyes. Like, Airy, don't leave me like this. Are you there? I can't. And you see like scar tissue forming all around his ears too. He's like, Airy! And she just turns. As she turns, and you can see her profile. She looks unsettled by what she's had to do here. She walks back in to the inn, just leaving this dwarf out here. Airy! Just looking around, blindly. Trying to feel around to get him knocking over some debris in the alleyway.
Okay, so Airy's already gone inside.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna wait like 5 seconds,
Mhm.
and then slowly approach the dwarf.
He's still stumbling around, can't hear or see. It's just... He's fallen down over himself as he's trying to stand up with all the debris around him.
Okay. I want to grab, like, I'm assuming he has like like a shirt that I could probably.
Yeah, is wearing a cloak that has a small, like a pop-up collar that's kind of thick on it that you can grab him by.
So I'll kind of like lift him to his feet.
Airy, please.
No, it's not Airy. What did you do?
Who is this?
None of your business.
Just leave me be, please.
What did you do?
I can't speak of it. I'll die. They'll kill me if I talk.
Well, what else do you have? You already lost your sight.
I have my life. Please don't take that from me, please. You can roll an intimidation check too if you want, as your.
Aha! Yes, I have that. You will tell me. Okay. Yeah.
Well, it's against his, so we'll see. It might be higher, and it is. Roll a 2.
Oh.
Please, I can't tell you what. It's Grim Fury business. It's Grim Fury business. I made my own deal. I took something I shouldn't have out of the deal, and I have young ones I need to take care of, and the job doesn't pay well enough on its own, and they can afford it. But what will I do now? Please don't take me away from my family. He's just sort of trying to feel around at, like, is striking your arms. His arms are too short to reach you.
Oh. I kind of feel worried. Kind of want to medal. I would like to cast.
The scarring continues over his ears, and now it looks like just a lump. You might not be able to hear anything.
Okay, I would like to cast Healing Word.
Okay.
Focus on his ears.
Make a medicine check first, if you would.
Okay. Okay, medicine. Yeah.
12. All right, let's see. Okay. You would probably know that, given the arcane nature of this, if you had a cleansing type spell that might be able to get rid of, would be more called for an effect like this.
Okay.
Or, possibly time. It kind of depends on how the spell was done. But you think if you were to cast a healing word, it may assist him in his natural ability.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cast it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 1d. It's my casting, which is. Oh, there we go.
Nice.
7.
Okay. Oh, this guy sucks. You gave him advantage, basically, on his con save. Hello? I know you're here. Please say something.
Can you hear me?
Please.
All right, I'm done with this. I just kind of, I don't know. Oh, no, I don't want to do that either. I just pat him on the back and I walk away.
You just hear him start sobbing in the alleyway there. All right, as you walk away, neat. I walk away.
Explosion.
Yeah, nice.
Yes.
He explodes. That's amazing.
This hurts my heart so bad.
Aww.
Okay.
Okay. So Dina, next, you're traveling with Jakar.
Yep.
And he's sort of silently walking, alongside you, waiting for any prompts.
Yeah. So because I know now that I'm wearing the bloodstone ring, I don't care about how far apart the others are from me. I know I'm covered from scrying.
Nice.
I'm like, all right, tell me everything.
Well, as I was contacted prior to find out what details I could, given your lineage. Well, I found some information regarding an individual that I need to send some of my clients. Your lineage stretches back so far that there's very little, there's no record beyond a certain point, as you understand.
Yeah.
However, there's an individual that I use sometimes. Now, typically, it comes at a great cost, but given the fact that you were in the right place at the right time and saved me from this disaster that I got myself into, I will manage all fees that would be heard. There's an individual up in Mount Cormander, in the Crestwood Mountains. His name is Gerall, and Gerall, correct. Gerall.
Okay.
Very, very wise and old red-scaled dragonborn. Don't be fooled by the color of his scales. He is at least an honest individual, and paid for his services. He will perform them to the best of his duties.
I comb my fingers back through his hair so that he can see the red scales that I have.
Oh, well, yeah. You see? You can't judge a book by its cover.
No, you can't, can you, darling?
No, ma'am. Yes, well, he can actually, through arcane means, almost scrying the information from your blood. Just need a small sample of blood, and he's able to do wonders with the details of lineage, especially any lineage that contains any, even a modicum of power to it, which I understand is the case.
Yes. Well, when you're dealing with something as complicated as mine,
to say the least.
Yes, to say the least. I mean, these haven't been seen in, from what I understand, 10 generations. And I'm playing with my horns at this point.
Nice.
I mean, Mother was elemental, shall we say, in her appearance, and so, well, it's complicated.
Quite the family tree.
Yes, but the one thing we all have in common, and I snap my fingers and flame appears on my fingertip. It's, you might say, a theme.
I'm very interested. I don't often take an interest myself in the detail. I love the work. Yes, quite fascinating.
Yes, isn't it? And I mean, goodness only knows who Daddy is. And again, I brush back the hair so that you can see the red scales.
Yes, right. Well, I think I'm going to make this my home for at least a few months. I think there are a number of individuals here while you're seeking out Gerall. And
Well,
if you, yes,
just so happens I might be heading that way, so that's
wonderful.
convenient.
Yes. Good, very good. Well, I'll be here for at least a couple of months. That you'll stop back in, let me know your progress. I need to help, as I've been paid to do.
Yes. Oh, and just be careful because there was a reason for that scrying spell. Is somebody from Shadowgate, shall we say, has probably been watching.
Oh, and he takes a moment to think of like who might be able to do that. You see him
And
go
I
from
I wiggle the fingers under the chin.
Oh, that's
So watch your back, darling.
thank you. I will.
Yes,
He
because
kind of shivers like.
I mean, you've quite possibly been. Well, no, let's say you have been associated with me now.
Make sure I find myself nowhere near the outskirts of the city then.
Yeah. I would make sure you find yourself nowhere near, anywhere. Just be careful.
I will.
Yes. And should you find out anything more, you'll let me know?
Indeed. Absolutely.
Good, good. Come with me. Oh, I made sure that I gave him like just a regular old dagger that I
Okay.
was carrying, not any, not the one that I took off the rogue or. So I just gave him that. So I'm going to. By now, hopefully we're at the place where.
Yeah.
And I want to try and find, like I said, a dagger that's got a diamond worth 50 gold, either set into the pommel or into the hilt.
Hey. I would say, oops. What you do in Windows? All right. Yeah. I mean, you make an investigation check with advantage if you want. I mean, you're gonna find it. It's more about like how quickly you'll find it.
Okay. Investigation. Oh, because I roll so well.
Neat. It takes a little more time than you were hoping for. You're really like drumming about this Modrigan's belly. There's a weapon and armor section till finally, sort of in the place where you started, but it was tucked behind another section. You didn't see it the first time. You finally make your way back around. Like, are you kidding? It was here. And you find a weaponsmith that does just that, makes fancier type weapons, and you see a couple. I mean, it's a sign of prestige and such to have some sort of gem in the hilt or in the guard there. So you ask him, and he's like, I have got a dagger already with a diamond. That's what you're looking for. Brand new, 55 gold.
I take the dagger and can I see it?
Yeah. He holds it out to you to check.
Okay. I check the balance of it. Balance of the blade. I check the sharpness of it.
Okay.
I want to assess to make sure that this is a good weapon. This is a good dagger.
Gotcha. It is.
It's not just a decorative.
Right. Yeah. There's definitely it's has a very strong structure to it. The balance is nearly perfect, much better than most dime store daggers that you pick up. And it's exceedingly sharp. It looks, he talks a little bit about the sharpness. Is that'll keep its sharpness for quite a while.
Yes. I'm sure it will. I need a whetstone. I need some oil, and I'll take it.
Well, the oil comes free, and whetstone is just an extra gold. You're looking at 56 gold, and it's yours right now.
Done.
What would he do? He wraps it up, gently, or he goes to wrap it up. And in case would you like it?
Nope.
No.
I'm assuming that the sheath comes with it.
I.
Okay.
This is a nice
I'll take
sturdy
it on the
sheath.
sheath. And, yep.
We're doing business with you.
And with you as well.
All right. So you've got this. You've got the dagger. It includes the diamond, the 50 gold piece diamond.
Excellent. I'm going to go find someplace off. Is there someplace kind of like away from others? Sort of where I'm not going to draw too much attention.
I'm sure you can find an area here. Maybe later on in the day, it's easier to find a location like that. So we'll say it's about coming up on evening time, and you find a nice spot where it's dark and secluded.
Excellent. I'm going to cast. I'm going just to try casting Chromatic Orb, choosing fire damage.
Okay.
Because it requires a diamond worth at least 50 gold pieces a component. So.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right.
Poor dagger.
Yeah. As you have the dagger, at your side, or in the other hand, you begin the somatic components and the verbal, and then as you put your hand down on the dagger, and the diamond shatters and just floats up into the sphere that you're forming now in between your hands. And as you think, what was it, fire?
Yep.
You think fire, it turns into this swirling ball of plasma with flames sort of arcing off it like the sun. You want to throw it at anything?
Is there anything around that's not going to catch fire if I do?
Ooh, let's see. I'll say you found an alcove against the wall. There's like the stone wall of the entire cave here that you could probably chuck it against if you wanted to.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
That's how Dina burnt down the city.
Nice. It was just a stone finish. It was actually wood. Just kidding.
Yep. So just knowing that I can pull it up and do it, I'm actually, you know what? I'm just going to toss it up in the air and then dissipate it.
Oh, okay. You hug. It has like a little small supernova. As it just expends itself up in the air.
Yep.
Neat. All right, and then you carry. Our next stop is back to the house.
Yep. And that where we are is where I part ways with Jakar.
Okay. Just gives you the head nod. Luck. Soon.
And you. Watch your back.
Shivers again, like, oh, okay.
And stay out of prison.
Yes. Shakes his head as he walks away, like his eyes still like swollen over and stuff. Okay, Demalagus, you would turn back to go back in to see Hez. Go for it.
Actually, we were chatting about that, and my buddy Valkyn here just came back from the dead, and I'm not going to leave him alone. Doing anything, and plus 3 whole hit points myself, so I think I might as well just go ahead and stick with him, so we don't both get murdered.
Perfect.
Onward to home.
Valkyn, yes, is like draped over you. Yeah.
It'll be a good idea.
Nice.
So I'm busted up too. I rethought. I was like, no. And plus, when I return to Hez, I want to have something for her, a gift.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh.
Neat. All right.
Now look at Hez.
Well, you all make it back, one point or another. You notice that there's a heavier guard presence as each of you enters the house this time. Not that they follow right behind you, but you feel like every time you look around, there's always at least one person sort of just in the area doing something. Keeping an eye on each of you. But you're able to get a, luxurious night of sleep. Fully rested. And the amazing accommodations here.
My spells are back.
Nice. Do that on this one. So, you wake up in the morning. Airy sort of, at one point or another, you all come out, and if not, then Airy comes around and harasses you to get up and come out. Time to get up. We need to get going. She's knocking on doors of anyone that's not up. Eat.
I want to throw my pillow at the door. Shut up!
She kind of rumbles.
Not my mother.
A skeletal hand rises up from outside the door. Coffee first.
Nice, and grasps her. Get her coffee. There's plenty out here. Let's go.
I would like one too.
She sighs
That's
loudly
right, move along.
again.
I
kind of want to like shoo her out to go get the coffee, so I kind of want to like take my time, and I'm gonna Dina.
I shuffle out and say, "What's coffee?"
The liquid of the gods.
It's a strong drink that makes your day happen. Airy says.
It makes your day happy. Happiness. Yeah, I kind of want to like follow or try to find Dina.
Okay. It's not. I imagine you guys would all be housed pretty, in rooms close to one another, so it's not hard to hear her sort of call for coffee in like 2 rooms down.
So what I'm gonna do, because I'm rude, I'm just gonna barge in and hurry and shut the door.
Perfect. The door swings open. Axel steps in, shuts it behind her.
We need to talk. So, I went to follow Airy last night. Followed her over to some shops. She's really bored. Okay, it's really kind of dull. Until I came to this spot. It was his house, right? I think she was playing or gambling. I don't know. I didn't really see a lot. But what I did hear is the spell that she did that burned her hand. There was something that was etched, I think. I don't know. It's hard to tell from the angle I was. But still, she tortured this dwarf. And I kind of want to learn that spell because I think I need it. But we need to watch out because this dwarf is now blind and deaf, and I'm pretty sure he died. I don't know. But I'm just letting you.
All right.
Because it's torture magic and I want it. Do you know anything about this? Because I need it.
There's a spell. It's blindness and deafness.
That causes the caster pain? Because like I'm really not into that, but I would do it.
No, the thing is your magic comes from nature in a way, yes. And bards are just, Falcon is just, I mean, they tell a joke and shit happens. Mine is in my blood. Hers, she made a deal. And I think the one that she made a deal with likes the pain as well. And so for her to use, that's part of the deal I think that they may have made, was that he hurts her in order for her to have the power.
Wicked.
Yeah. Some people like that,
I mean, I just want like that kind of pain.
You want that kind of pain?
Not on me. No, I want to inflict it.
You want to? Well, I mean, there are all kinds of spells that can do that.
Well, I mean, but I'm also saying, like, if I have to go through the pain to watch, certain people.
No, I mean, only if you want to make the kind of deal that she did, I think.
Yeah, it's probably a dumb deal.
I mean, if you like pain, I'm not one to judge. Some people do. I've been known to enjoy it myself once or twice if it's done properly. I prefer to inflict it without experiencing it myself, but I mean, if you want to inflict pain, then yeah, there's spells, there's magic that can do that.
Well, I just thought it was interesting. And I try to, get a little bit out of the dwarf after it left. And he didn't want to talk. I try to heal him so he could talk. And so, I don't know. I just
Well,
figure someone should know because it's torture magic. It's really interesting.
I mean, a lot of spells. I mean, a lot of spells cause pain. That's the whole purpose of doing it.
Yeah, but it traveled so fast, and I haven't seen that yet. So I figured maybe you would know. But I
I,
mean,
it's
you've been like,
yeah, like I said, mine is in the blood. It's a family thing. Hers, you'd have, if you want that, you'd probably have to make a deal with somebody. Now, I happen to be looking for somebody who might be willing to make that kind of a deal. So, stick around and you can talk.
all right, I will keep that in mind. I know when I find them, I know that that's what I'm going to use on them. So,
Yes.
anyways, I'm going to go get.
But yes.
Just watch your back because I don't know what Airy's up to, but
Yes. Anybody who puts himself in the employ the way that she has and is willing to make the kind of yes. When somebody else owns you the way she's owned.
oh, no one will own
No,
me.
but then not to be trusted.
I'm curious to see if the burns are still there. I want to go find out, and then I leave.
Okay.
Because I'm curious now, and I want the coffee.
Nice. By the time you open the door back up, you can smell it brewing in the main room where they were serving food. At one point here, everyone's sort of in the room together. Coffee's brewed, food is prepared, and you're able to fill up on a tasty breakfast and have that beautiful cup of coffee. Airy sort of, like, okay, now that everyone is finally here, he kind of looks over at the stragglers. Can we just sort of get our plan together and get moving?
Is she wearing robes down here? Can I see anything?
She does. Typically she does, and even the other night she did, but she had them sort of tucked up for the game that she's playing inside. And when she went
I was gonna sit down next to her and then just like, hey, buddy.
What?
Okay.
Yep. I'll be better when we're leaving. And my house isn't burning.
Why are you looking at me? God. And then I go to my coffee.
Nice. All right. Let's. I mean, there isn't much in the way of wagons or anything. There's plenty that come in and leave, but I don't know that they're all for goods. You can try up at the main entrance and exit to the mountain top there. base of the mountain up above. See if we can hitch a ride somewhere. But this time of year, we're probably looking at hiking, at least up to the next city where we ride. The sooner we get this and get back, the sooner we get money, and we can, maybe find more permanent means to be done with this, so that we don't all have to hang out together.
Yay. Well, I guess let's just start hiking. Are we going to Crestwood next, I'm assuming?
That's
Yes?
what I was thinking.
Okay, we need to do that.
Yeah.
Or
Good.
at least that's what I'm going to say that we're doing next because, eggs.
Eggs. I like eggs.
Expensive.
Expensive eggs. And we only have 7 weeks to get this done, so.
There's something creepy about the owl wanting to eat eggs.
No, I'm actually saying that in character.
Nice. Here we gives Valkyn a quick look. She gets some fresh rations. If you guys have rations in your bags, they'll say you get an extra 15 rations apiece to sustain you as you head on the journey. Nothing else extra at this point, though, from family, as most of the main people out. Yeah, so you guys, if you're done with breakfast and ready to go, you take the trek up to the surface. And let me just take a quick peek at the map here so I can talk a little bit about what all this is. All right, you head back up through Modrigan's Belly, which you've already been in. And I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. Here's Modrigan's Belly. You end up in the next area that has the main exit for... this is like the receiving center. It's this long spiral staircase that goes up to the next level. This is where people do business, like outsiders get to do their business. They come in here, they set up a bunch of little shops, and they trade. Most of it's just trade and not like open sales for people. There's this huge pit that slides down for 100 feet or so, and then starts to angle off. This is up near the top. It's a second open area.
Okay, the circle.
Yeah, and you Airy tells you, yeah, that's like they're pretty strict down here about deals and following up, making payments that you need and not scamming people. And that's I wish I had the name. It's something like the debtor's pit or something like that. If you fall behind and you cannot make your payments or make amends, then you pay with your life. And she points over to essentially a plank that walks a stone structure that walks out like 25 feet over this 150-foot circle across. And she's like, so yeah, we'll be careful down here, just a side note. But I have clearance, so follow me. And she walks you all up the spiral staircase up into the actual like reception area. This is where people get identities checked and other pat down security basically TSA of Stonehearth before they let anyone down. The actual exit to this mountain is near the peak of the mountain. Just up above is that little doorway there. And there's this long stairway that walks. I say stairway, but it's a very rough stairway that winds down the mountain around the back and then lets off the back of this mountain. So as you reach the very top, Airy's like, okay, if you have any warm clothes, put them on. Otherwise, brace yourselves. It's going to be cold for a hot minute while we get down this. And the two, she looks at the two guards stationed at this huge door, 35-foot door by like 20 feet wide, and this pointy arch. They open up the doors, and all this wind and snow blows in. The blinding light as the sun is beaming off all this white snow out here. It's just a lot to take in all at once. You're like, oh, anyone that's not dressed warmly.
I don't know how it would even be. I'm covered.
Yeah, Valkyn's probably fine. And you guys,
I have an internal radiator. I'm good.
right? Yeah, and Dina, yeah. Awesome.
Snow's like melting off of me.
I'm cold-blooded, so I guess I'm screwed.
Right? Ah, nice. Ooh, temperature dropping.
And that's how Axel got frozen.
I can.
Awesome.
I'll turn it. If I need to, I'll turn it.
Axel just starts moving a lot slower.
Sleepy.
Join the club, Axel. Oh, she's alive.
And it takes a good, this is, mid-morning or so when you get out here. It takes a good 6 or 7 hours to get down this mountain. And that's with, this expedited stairway that lets you just kind of walk down it. Slippery in places, but you all seem to make your way pretty fine down to the base. All right, where's this? Oh, yeah. Okay, and then you begin to trek through. As you get to the base of the mountain, it's not so snowy. It bleeds over into just, a bit chilly with some snow melting in patches, and you see some grass springing up. Axel, for you, it's like, yes, nature aside from rock. There's plant life springing up and animal life in here, and the trees, there's a bunch of evergreen trees as you walk in the area.
I'm just taking a deep breath in.
Beautiful fresh air. Slightly warm-ish here, cool-ish, just fills your lungs, and it's so nice after being in that prison and down into the mountain for so long. You get another, you walk until dark, which is probably another 8 hours or so, 6 to 8 hours, before you're in some heavy woods now. Let me actually bring up the map. This really quickly of Losserel. Really quickly. Fantasy Grounds wasn't letting. Alright, let me see, chat. Did that pop up? It did. Okay. So you're in Stonehearth, and you're actually headed north. You are. If you look at the red banner for Pele in the desert just above, if you take the very leftmost part of that banner and go directly south, that's where you've come out. You're still in the woods, just behind the mountains of Stonehearth there. So the typical journey will have you sort of roughing it as you go through the woods and then across the grasslands around the desert of Pele, because it's way too arid there, not straight up to Crestwood. So it turns out, around 10 or 11 at night, it's time for bed. You guys break out your gear and set up your camp. Takes like an hour or so.
I use Create Bonfire to start up the fire.
Nice. Huge blaze, 4 or 5 feet, comes out of the where it goes back down to a healthy size there. Rhea seems to be reflecting inwardly at all the crazy things that have happened to her recently. Airy, too, seems to go between holding her arm with one hand to using that same arm to sort of like hold the pearl. Almost like she holds her cloak, like she's feeling the pearl inside the pouch inside her cloak so often. Set up a camp, and we'll do quickly. You guys have like anyone want to take a particular watch as you set up and you're ready for bed?
I'll take
not
first watch.
taking watch with
I-
Airy.
I was to say I'll take first watch because Dina does not like getting up early in the morning. She's
Perfect.
not a morning person.
Yeah, me too. So
Nice. All right. So Axel and Dina, if you guys would roll perception, please.
Okay. Well.
Everyone else sort of nestles into bed, and woo, Woo! Nice. Relatively uneventful. You hear some chirps of animals and some rustling of some shrubs and bushes, but nothing that. And we're able to switch out with the next crew of people. It's about 3 a.m. Who wants to take second watch?
I'm gonna go over and kick Airy up.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Ready? All right. She gets up and looks around. Rhea's just asleep. She clearly planned on doing the final watch.
Who do you want me to kick up for you?
Maybe Valkyn. Yeah. Just
Okay. I kick him awake.
Oh man.
What?
Watch.
Sure.
No, not you.
What do you mean, not me?
Grumble.
I go to
Walk
bed.
over.
Just watch over there then. I'll watch over here.
Okay.
She walks off to the other side of the camp. Okay. So go ahead and roll your perception check if you would. Actually, I need to make a roll on something. Go ahead and roll your perception check anyway.
That's the right one.
Ooh, nice. Okay. Airy got pretty high too. As this is going on, Thaxel's moving over and Dina to go rest. Malagus, are you asleep? Are you getting your rest in for final watch? Okay. Okay. Malagus and Brea asleep. Falcon and Airy sort of moseying about, getting ready to go take watch here. There's this heavy darkness that starts blotting out the forest, like it's creeping through and just facing on one edge of your camp. It's already sort of densely packed wood. There's some opening above where you can see the starry night sky, but in this area it's just all these pine trees with big large chunks of bark that just one at a time get rolled over with this darkness as it moves toward the camp, stopping just outside where the firelight stops. It goes from bright light to dim light to just completely like a magical darkness over there. And you hear from there. And from out of the darkness, you see two things. You see a rider on a horse. However, the horse you see is this.
Oh my god! I love this horse so much.
Oh, Dina wants.
Flame in wreaths around its hooves that flies behind it. Its tail and mane are entirely made of fire, and it has these small flames and smoke that trail out of its nostrils and mouth.
I need this horse.
This horse comes out, as well as if I can put these all together. The rider. Oh, this is going to be a massive. So sorry, I would have shared this out sooner if I'd realized it was this big.
Well, the other one, they're all like huge.
Okay. All right, let me resize this so chat can see. This is the rider, dressed like all in dark black. She has sort of a purplish hue to her skin, but there's a bit of aura of darkness around her. Wearing a dress with these feathers, they almost look like phoenix feathers that are just frilling out around the dress. So sort of drapes a bit down her shoulders. These killer eyes that maybe used to have a pupil in them. and sitting, straddling the horse, sitting upright as she rides in, very regal-like. And she looks down. As she stops, out of the darkness come another, like, 2 horses. And then another 3. Up behind her. No riders, just the horses behind her. Hers stands like 1.5 times larger than the rest.
Are these normal horses?
No, they look like this, like the image there.
They're all fire horses.
Yeah, yep. You have something that belongs to my master. I would like it back. And Airy feels a tug from inside her cloak where she has the pearl. She grabs it to hold it in place. The woman on the horse beckons like this. It starts drawing Airy in her entirety, like feet skidding toward her. That's where we'll end tonight's session.
And I don't I still have exhaustion?
Yes, you do 4.
Son of a.
So you have movement speed back, but the other ones are all a bust.
You're at half your hit points. You have half speed. You're at disadvantage on all ability checks and saving throws, I think.
So I'm basically just gonna go fly up in the air and just use disadvantage and throw darts.
Yeah.
Nice.
Darts from above.
Awesome. Such fun. Oh, that's great.
This reminds me of versus Strahd. Like,
Oh,
it's all coming back.
nice.
Because yeah, this is kind of how my first character died in D&D.
Oh, really?
It was there was his horse was in a statue, whatever, and I accidentally fireballed it, and Strahd was there, and then I died. It's fine. It's fine.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So this is bringing back wonderful memories. Things.
Yay! That is amazing.
Oh,
I
yes.
just got back to life, Dan.
A lot of early challenges. Neat. Soils armor. Nice, Randy. Valkyrie, that's fun.
Finally, somebody got it.
Yeah, it's like Valkyrie, that's great. Like,
That's
I
a
took
bit of
ship
a-
Valkyrie.
No,
Oh, I missed that.
Valkyrie is Valkyrie.
Oh my gosh! Wow, wow. No, I only applaud you for the nightmare, not the
Yeah.
nice.
Awesome.
Oh my goodness.
I hope you all
That
had
was fun.
fun. Yeah, I did.
Yes.
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 Awesome. Yeah, so those that don't typically watch, doesn't look like there's too many new folks here, but every Tuesday night, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern time, we have our Kira's Lament here, and you can catch us next Tuesday. Every Friday night, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m., we have Stormfall, another homebrew campaign set in the same world, just different parts of it, which is kind of fun. As that may very likely leak into one another. Consequences of what everyone does will probably bleed. Point. Excited about. Yeah, so join us next week when we find out what the fork is going on.
Yay!
Huzzah.
So,
Well, I hope you all have a great night, and thanks for watching. Thanks, Steph and Blade. And everyone for chilling with us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, players, too.
Bye.
Have a great night.
Night.
Good night.